the angry winners of Brexit on the Britannia Waives the Rules channel. My name's Mike Cashman. If you find what I'm saying to be interesting or useful, you can hear more from me by subscribing to the channel, buying the books or the music, or inviting me to speak. So I've commented before on the angry winners of Brexit. Why aren't they off enjoying their benefits on the Sunlit Uplands? Why are they so angry? But I thought I'd talk particularly about those who comment on this channel. Now, before I go any further, people are very welcome to comment on the videos on this channel. There are some very reasonable responses, some critical responses, where people have watched what's in the video and have raised specific points, brought up some additional facts to consider, and I welcome that. I invite people to comment on the channel, so I'm not discouraging comments on the channel. There are a few who comment just on the titles, and this shows up very much with, if I've got an ironic title such as "The EU is to blame for Brexit," which is something that I'm quoting, and if people respond just to the title without having watched the video, that becomes very obvious. But I want to talk particularly about those who are prolific in their comments, and to some extent I'm making this video so that I can refer to it in responses to those comments. I try to respond to the comments that people make. Try and read all of them. I'm not saying I always do, sometimes there are hundreds, but I attempt to keep up and respond to reasonable comments, and actually to some of the others as well. But I want to highlight a particular type of commenter, and you will have seen plenty of them, who some of the characteristics for these angry commenters, and not all these characteristics apply to every angry commenter, but a number of them do. So very often they consider my videos to be a waste of time. So, if somebody watches the whole of one of the videos and says, I watched all of that video and that was a complete waste of time, well, that's fair enough. That's your opinion. When somebody, in effect, by repetition says, I've watched 20 of your videos and each time that was a complete waste of time, then I start to think, well, might there not be a way in which you could save yourself from wasting time in that way? It is popular amongst these angry commenters to respond just to the title, and which gives rise in some cases to the suspicion that perhaps they haven't watched the video at all. One of the things that the angry commenters like to do is to construct a straw man argument. So to attempt to say that I've said something which I actually haven't, and they can't find any place in the video in which I've said it. Perhaps they haven't watched it. The comments are often very repetitious. So, there's more than 150 videos on this channel. Many of them are concerned with our relationship with the EU and the damage that Brexit has done. But I would like to think that the videos are approaching the subject in different ways and from different angles. There's all sorts of damage has been done by Brexit, and the videos explore that, explore different aspects of it. So if I am making different points in the different videos, it doesn't really make sense if a commenter cuts and pastes the same comment, or maybe they type it all out again. I don't know, exactly the same wording, but says the same thing in response to each video. They're clearly not engaging with the actual content of the video if they do that. Sometimes such comments are abusive, not always. There can be use of caps lock and bold and great repetition. Comments can, as I say, be prolific, which may result in the fact of the interaction around those comments tending to grow the channel, which may not be the intention of those who are commenting. One factor that the angry commenters that some of them have is an inflated sense of their own importance. So there's sometimes a demand that what I should talk about next is such and such a subject. I don't mind if people ask for, what's your opinion on something, but amongst the angry commenters, it is not unusual to say, to hear from them, what you need to do now is, and what they may not understand is that they are not the target audience of the videos. Now, at first sight, they may be surprised at that because and if this is you watching, you may be surprised at that, because you may be thinking, oh, I'm a Brexit voter, and Mike, you're trying to reach out to Brexit voters, so surely I'm the target audience. But no, and you'll find elsewhere on this channel my point about the, if you like, segmentation of the of political opponents in general. So there will be a hardcore who will not be convinced by any argument at all, and some of them prolific in attacking the videos of their opponents. And there are many who are in more of a middle ground, more neutral, who voted one way or the other on balance, but who are open to persuasion. That group that are open to persuasion is the target audience. Those who, whatever I say, come back with the same preformed comment are not the target audience. They're welcome to comment. If the comment is sensible, I may respond to the comment, but they are not those who I'm seeking to persuade. I suppose I should take irrelevant comment as a compliment. I've said this before, but if somebody watches the whole video, but is then, or not, but in their comments is abusive, that tends to suggest that they felt they wanted to respond, but had nothing of substance to say in response. Similarly, if somebody posts something irrelevant, if somebody pastes in exactly the same response as they gave to another video, again, it suggests that, if I've watched your whole video, I didn't find anything within it that I could respond to, but I felt I wanted to say something. And therefore, does that mean they agree with the whole video? Maybe, maybe not. Feel free to add your comments on this video, and I will read them with interest. Thank you. Do subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more.